Humboldt State Tonight now, joined by head coach Tom Wood after he's been on a little holiday hiatus. But the Jacks, of course, going strong. Coach Wood, you were at the halfway mark. Your thoughts on the 08-09 Humboldt State Lumberjack basketball team?
Well, since the start of the season, we've been asked about this basketball team, and I've been kind of reserved as far as saying, okay, we're going to be contenders. But I think we can go on record now and be somewhat reserved, but at the same time thinking that if we play our best basketball, we have a right to think that we're going to be in the middle of things in the end of February. So I don't think we're pretenders. I think we're our contenders.
All right, beginning of the year, I said publicly, and when I talked to you and Coach Kinder, I said, I don't know if you guys are really good, but you're going to be fun to watch. Then as fans, broadcasters, we get spoiled. Next thing you know, you're tied for first. You're ripping off 5 straight wins. Expectations have changed for the fans and a lot of people. Have they changed for you?
Certainly they have. You know, we've seen our enemy. We've seen every one of our opponents. Right. We fear none. We think at the same time that we certainly respect them. We know that if we don't bring our best to the game, and they do, that we're going to come out second best, and we don't want to do that. So, but at the same time, you know, in that statement, our best is good enough if we continue to improve. We're playing 6 freshmen. They got to get better. I don't think they're going to hit the wall. We're trying to keep it somewhat fun for them, so they're playing the right way, and I think they're going to be getting better as the season goes. We got a little over a month left, and at the end of February, I think we should be going and firing on all cylinders and be playing our best. And like again, once again, I think our best is good enough.
Okay, how different do you find yourself this year coaching guys? Yeah, you sometimes say they're not freshmen because they've been in the program quite a while now, but last year with Devin Peel, Grayson Moyer, Will Schufelt, and Simon, you had a very experienced team. So how do you find yourself coaching these young fellas as opposed to the vets last year?
I think the big thing that comes up is kind of a lack of consistency. And as a team, we've been pretty consistent. But, you know, one night Kyle Baxter might play pretty well. Next night he doesn't play as well. Keith Davis plays well. David Howard has a big night, then couldn't throw it in the ocean. You know, so there's that inconsistency that comes with being on that roller coaster ride that is being a freshman. So I think that's the difference. Last year with those veterans, you kind of knew what they were going to do, and they brought it pretty consistently every night.
Okay, David Howard, we had him on the show last week. Talk about him. Here's this young, brash kid. He's obviously full of confidence. He's got the $1 million smile. He's a lot of fun, and he wears his emotions on his sleeve, which can be great and can also get him in trouble.
Yeah, we got to temper it down with him. We got to, you know, he and the other 5 freshmen need to kind of, I guess, mature and get a better feel for what they need to do during the course of a ball game. In high school, sometimes you get all fired up and people behind you, and you think that's what gets the job done. In reality, I think it's the preparation, the being somewhat cerebral during the course of a game that gets it done at this level.
Okay, what's Coach Wood like? I've never asked you this, and what is Tom Wood like at halftime? What are you like in the locker room? Let's start with up 20. You're playing somebody, you're at home, you're up 20. What are you like in the locker room?
Surprised. You know, if we're up 20. You know, I like to think I'm a coach that is worried about how the game's being played, regardless of the score. I know that's probably not altogether true, but you know, there's a certain way that we need to play to be successful. Certain way we need to play to make all my preparation and all the practice worthwhile. So if that's not happening, whether we're up 20 or down 20, I think I have a right to go off on them a little bit. But try not to do that too much. You know, most times whenever either we're up 20 or down 20, that I've got emotional myself and said things probably too loud or sometimes not the most nice way I say things. I've always regretted it afterwards. So even at age 60, 61, I'm trying to learn how to deal with these kids. And back in the day when I first started coaching, I think you could probably holler at kids a little bit more, get a little loud, maybe get in their face a little bit. I don't know if that works so much with today's kids. Plus, that wears you out as a coach too.
Do you ever find yourself worried about maybe how sensitive a kid may be if I guess you think 20 years ago, coaches. I even look back to. I had Pop Warner coaches in the 80s who were meaner than football coaches in college, but do you find yourself sometimes now, boy, kids may be a little sensitive to this?
Yeah, I think we all do nowadays. I think we're a little more in tune to the sensitivity of kids. But, I tell our players, we got 13 guys that we're playing. I think it's easier for them to adjust to me than for me to try to adjust to 13 people. So there's a certain consistency that I try to bring to the table. But at the same time, you know, a pat in the back to David Howard might work, where a kick in the rear end to Ernie Spada might be what is needed. And so we try to figure that out as we go along. And most of the time I think I'm okay with that. Once in a while I probably say something I wish I didn't and regret it later.
28 years. Have you found yourself, how have your halftime emotions changed? Whereas I'm sure year number one coaching, if you're down 10 at the half, it could have been at the end of the world. And now 28 years later, you realize there's a lot of basketball to be played.
Well, you know, JB, I really don't know if I've changed that much. You know, during the course of the ball game, I like to think I'm really tuned into what's going on and how we're playing again. You know, obviously, I have a feel for whether or not we're going to be successful. I'm always scared if we're up by 12, 15, because I think for some reason or another, you know, that's going to wake the other team up. It's very difficult, I think, to play with a big lead, to play the best brand of basketball you can. On the other hand, I don't like being down 12, 13 because, you know, obviously we have been playing very good, and I don't know if we got it in our tank that night to come back and take care of business. So it varies, you know. You probably need to ask the players what I'm like at halftime. Okay. Personally, you know, I probably think I'm like Dean Smith or Bobby Knight combined.
Well, I'm still looking forward to get that locker room in there. Let's go to the email here before we run out of time. Thank you so much, Han. This comes from Dan O. in Willow Creek. Hey, Coach and JB. Coach Wood, halfway through the season, what have you learned about the new Lumberjack Arena? Thank you.
Well, I think it's a great place to play basketball. It's a great college environment. It's loud, which I was wondering whether or not coming from the East Gym that we'd be able to carry that loudness across the street, and we certainly have done so. You know, it's clean, it's fresh, it's an arena, which I think this community and this university needs to be very proud of the job they've done here. And what we're trying to do is provide our part of that program by having a basketball team that's worthy of 1,758 fans that can fit in this place.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I mean, I was worried, is this place still going to be loud and special? Well, it's gone above and beyond the call of duty. Coach, thank you. Head women's basketball coach Jody Gleason next.
Miller Farms is a full-service nursery that's brimming with color. You'll find everything from beautiful plants to gardening supplies and landscaping equipment. Miller Farms staff is incredibly knowledgeable and always available to help even the most novice of gardeners. Their giftware section is full of wonderful and whimsical cards, garden ornaments, and so much more. From fountains to plants and trees to gardening supplies and specialty workshops, you'll find it all in one special place at Miller Farms on Central Avenue in McKinleyville.
The new year is here and packed with rewarding fun at Bear River Pump and Play and Bear River Casino. Bear River Pump and Play Casino is now open, featuring 25 slot machines, a live blackjack table, and live poker table. Best of all, the gaming floor is non-smoking and open to ages 18 and older. During the month of January at Bear River Casino, you can earn points to receive an emergency road kit. Visit the Players Club for details on this and all the January promotions.
Win and bear it at Bear River Casino.
Escape to a whole new adventure.
The power of people working together. That's what you'll find at Coast Central Credit Union. 52,000 members who have pooled their resources to benefit each other and our community. We're not here for profit. We're here for you. Isn't it time you joined? Coast Central Credit Union. Belonging never felt better.